Hey team, Ange and Marty here.
How we doing?
Welcome to this holiday movement class. Okay, so today's class, I recommend you moving through a few times, so practicing the class over and over, because the more you practice these patterns, we have got 4 movement patterns for you to explore today, and the more you practice them, the more familiar they're going to become in your body, and then you get more and more strength and mobility progress out of each drill. So let's get started. We are going to start with some Jefferson roll downs. So feet hip width apart. So first just make sure your big toes are pointing forward and they're sitting right underneath your hip bone. So not wide, not out or too narrow, big toes pointing forward. You may like to take a big inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, reach the hands back down and start to tuck your chin down towards your throat. Now we're rolling one vertebra at a time. So really round the spine, articulate it all the way down. As you get to your limit, you can bend the knees a lot so that the hands can actually touch the ground. Now, we're coming into a deep squat. You may need to widen your feet here. If you have not got access to a narrow squat, you may need to also elevate your heels. So first round of this pattern, let's just spend a few moments going a little bit slower. So just take a few deep breaths. You can always put a towel underneath your heels, but you can also just sit in your deep squat with your heels elevated. That's okay. From here, we're going to lower the knees down to the ground. So put the hands in front of you, soften the knees down, and now sit onto your heels. Again, first round, let's just take a few deep breaths. This is a really good toe stretch as well. You might just want to stay here if you haven't got access to this next move. So your choice is yours. Otherwise, we're bringing the hands onto the top of your heels. So wrap your thumb and index finger around your heels. So right on the top, you're going to push down and start to squeeze your bottom, press your hips forward, start to look up, pull the shoulders back and arch the whole spine here. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring the heels, bottom back down to your heels. Bring the hands in front, hips to the sky. So we're back to your forward fold. Walk the hands back closer. Bring the feet hip width apart again, and then start to roll up one vertebra at a time. All right, so that's the pattern. Let's move through it a few times. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling down. Tuck your chin. Start rounding the spine all the way through. You choose the variation for you. Bend the knees. You can soften down into your deep squat. Have a moment here with maybe the weight back a bit further. Then bring the hands forward. Weight goes forward. Keep the toes tucked there. Hands come to your heels. Pressing down. Squeeze your bottom. So tuck the tailbone. Open through the front body. Pull those shoulders back together. Look back. And then come back down. Bottom to heels. Hands come forward and roll up. All right, couple more here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, roll it down. You got it. Let's make this flow. Weight forward, sinking down. Nice. Weight forward again. Knees down. Soften them to the ground. Sit onto those heels. Hands come to the heels here. Squeeze your bottom. Open up that front body. Look back. You might find it opens up a little bit more for you. Sit back onto those heels. Weight forward through the hand. Hips to the sky. Just enjoy a forward fold. And then start to press through those legs, rolling back up the way you came. Big inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Rounding the spine, hamstring stretch. Weight forward, sinking down with the hips. Really nice. Weight forward here. Soften the knees down. Hands come to those heels as you sit back, pressing down through those straight arms, squeezing your bottom, opening up. Maybe a little more this time. And then coming back down, bottom to heel. Weight forward, sink the hips back up. Forward fold, and then roll back up. We're going to come down to the ground. So let's do a half wrap. Big inhale. And we're going to stay down in this one. Roll it down. Nice work. Yes, come down into a squat, sinking the hips. All right, let's just hang out here for a moment. So bring your elbows onto the inside of the knees. Little squat exercise here, palms together. So we're going to push the elbows into the inside of the thighs here, widening those knees and coming in. Let's just do a rep of 8 here. Yep, 7. Opening up our hips. 6, 5, 4, chest stays up. 3, 2, last one, and 1. All right, we're going to move on to drill 2. Coming down onto all fours, we're going to face the right-hand side. So wherever you're on your mat, right-hand side here. Okay, so toes tucked, knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders here. Make sure you're in a neutral spine. So we're not rounded, we're not dropping through the middle, we're somewhere in the middle between those two ranges here. So from here, take your next exhale and hover the knees off the ground. So a little bit of a core moment here. We're going to reach up to a down dog, hips to the sky. We're going to come back to that knees hover. Now here you can do two options. You can jump to your Z sit, and I'll show you how to do that. Bring weight to the hand, and you're going to bring the right foot in front, and we end up in our Z sit. Let's retrace our steps just to practice here. Hands come back to the right, so make sure they're pointing forward, and then you're going to come back to your quadruped. Now, option, you can have the knees down, and you can just step 1 foot forward and 1 back, or you can, from the knees hover, so give you a little bit of space, just bring that front foot forward and then soften using the hands and back. So we're going from the quadruped to this, which is the Z set. Okay, one more retrace back and we'll start the flow. Okay, so we're in a hover, knees off. We've got down dog and then quadruped. Z sit, right foot in front. From here, we're going to transfer to the other side. So you can have hands off or hands down. I'll have hands down. Marty can show you hands off version. We come through the center over to the other side. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So hands come in front. So we're facing this wall this time. My left foot's in front. We come to quadruped, knees off. Remember, you can do this in 2 parts. Down dog, come back down. You choose, back to your Z sit. Hands off or hands down through to the other side. All right, let's make this pattern flow. Quadruped, down dog, quadruped, Z sit, transfer sides, hands down, quadruped, down dog, quadruped, left foot in front, Z sit, and through. This is where practice helps a lot here. Hands down, quadruped, down dog, quadruped, right foot in front, and through to the other side. Coming down, quadruped, down dog, quadruped, left foot in front, Z sit. Try and soften the landing. The more we practice as well, the better quality of movement you're going to have. So you're going to have more control in those in-between moments. We're never kind of like throwing or just hoping for the best with our movement. If you feel like you're doing that, use your hands for support more so that you can have more control. Let's do one more each side. Woo, definitely warming up. Coming down and down dog and through. That's it. Right foot and down. Last side. Down dog. Quadruped. Left foot. Okay, and then take a break. So good. So let's take a seat here. We are going to find our straddle for our next pattern. Now, you don't have to find your widest straddle here. It may be just a small pizza slice. That's all good. You may also find it helpful to elevate your hips if you feel like you are stuck kind of in this position in your straddle. Get a rolled up towel or a cushion and bring it underneath your sit bones. Okay, so from here, we are going to pick up this straight right leg. So second way to make it easier is to actually lean away. The more compression forward you have, the harder it's going to be. So mine will be upright. I'll just show you the lean away. So I'm going to bring my hands back. The right leg, we're going to squeeze the kneecap, have this quad, make sure it's on, so toes up to the roof. Lift the leg and bend the knee and then just place it in. So we end up with this knees bent position. From here, drop into internal rotation so the knee drops in. See what range you have. And then open to external rotation. See what range you have. Bring it back up to the middle. Lift it up with control. Place it down. Other side. We go lift, left leg. Bring it in. Down. Soften. We drop internal rotation. External rotation. Come back. Lift the leg. And lower. All right, that is a pattern. You choose what variation. Now you know where you're at. Again, more you practice, this is going to become easier. All right, let's go. Right leg up, bend in, drop, internal, external, come back, lift and extend. Other side, lift, pull it in. Internal, healthy hips here. We work on our active range of motion. You might find one feels restricted than the other. Maybe it's like internal rotation. You didn't know that was restricted. So every time we practice, we learn about our body. And down, change, pull in, open, back up, and down, and in. With control, so try not to just like completely drop the leg. Yeah, lift and down. One more, lift, in, out. Let's do one more each side for good measure. You have got it. Pull it with control. This is hard. We're not used to using our hip flexors in this way, but even if we have tight hip flexors, this is actually going to help them lose their tightness, because just because they're tight doesn't mean that they are strong. All right, bring the feet in, give your legs a little shake. All right, a little bit of lower back and chest love is next. So we're gonna come all the way onto your belly. We might face this way so that you can see both of us here. So you're on your tummy, hands are by your chest here. We're gonna slide, hopefully you guys can see it. We are going to
go back a bit, yeah.
Slide the right arm out to the side, yeah? So you want to have the front of the shoulder down into the ground. From here, the left leg lifts up, and we bring it and we peel it over as if we're going to try and touch our fingertips with our toes. So you'll get a nice lower back twist, and then also you get a twist in an opening through the front of that shoulder, and then bring it back. Switch, so switch, one hand comes in, one hand comes out. Right leg lifts this time, fold it over so the knee can be bent towards the fingertips, and then come back. All right, moving through side to side here, team. Lift the legs straight, so hip extension, then bend it around, and then come back down, and switch. Right leg lifts off the ground, start to bend it towards the fingertips, and open, come back, switch, lift, and through. Switch arms, straight leg, flip, and down. Switch, lift the leg, wrap it around, opening that hip, getting that lower back twisting, come through, switch, lift, open, and through. Let's do one more each side here. Switch, lift the leg, wrap it open, and come back down. Last side, switch, lift the leg, and twist, and come back down. And we are going to roll all the way now onto your backs. So if you're wherever you are, you can just flip on over. Get Marty to go onto his back. Yeah, we'll see if we can both fit it in here.
Maybe diagonal.
We'll do a diagonal. So we're going to come all the way onto our backs here. Have the hands pretty wide so that you've got some space. Feet hip width apart. Now before we start the full exercise, just drop the knees over to one side, through, nice and active. So we're just controlling the movement here. Nice twist through one side and the other. Just let the knees drop side to side. Now, if you want to stay here for this exercise, you can totally do that. Otherwise, what we do, drop both knees to the left. The right leg continues, so the leg extends down and circles all the way again, like the other exercise, towards the fingertips of the hand. And then we retrace the steps. It does like a semicircle, and then we pull it back in till the knees bent. With knees drop to the other side, the leg extends. It does a nice circle towards the fingertips. Retrace your steps, pull it back in. This should have like a nice little flow to it once you kind of get the hang of it. It kind of like drops, big circle, and then it's like zoop, we bring it all the way up and pull it in. So let's do a few each side. Try and see if you can get a bit of rhythm here. I like delaying the knee drop so that gets slow, and then whoo, and then a little faster leg slide. And if you've got a good surface to do this on, it can feel really nice. I don't mind the carpet. When you're doing it, carpet burn, so just go light. Let's get a nice rhythm going.
We'll give you some static as well.
And
maybe.
over, don't get a static. Good. Maybe 4 more here. So let's go for 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Bring it on up. So good. You can keep those knees bent here. And then what we do is just a little 1 minute of shaking. So you can either have the feet flat and you're simply going to drive it from the feet. And you can see as I push through the feet, can you see my head? It kind of rebounds up to my head. Or if you feel like you want to, you can actually lift the toes. But you can just keep the feet flat if you like. Drive it from the feet here, forward and back. And we've just got a minute here. So this is a nice little nervous system reset. It's also a really nice relaxation tool because you need to relax. Because if you're stiff, the rebound effect of this movement is not going to work. So I've got a minute on the clock to push the feet into the ground or forward and back and just get that rhythm going. Breathe. Halfway. Notice the movement ripples all the way up. That's why everything's connected from the feet all the way through to the crown of the head. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the legs go long all the way. Maybe bring one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. Close down your eyes. Feel your whole body go really heavy, sinking down into the ground. Letting any tension just dissolve into the ground. Allowing your whole body to inhale and your whole body to exhale. Allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. Softly, gently letting it go. In and out. You can stay here if this just feels like a nice moment away from everything else going on at the moment. Or if you like, just bring yourself back to the natural rhythms of your breath. You can start to open your eyes, maybe reach the hands overhead, have a good little stretch, and say, thank you, body. Thank you for making me feel good. Thank you for allowing me to move in all directions and learn new things. I hope you enjoyed that class. And yeah, let us know how that was for you.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.